starting that right now. Okay. So as you can see on my screen, looks like a lot of crazy nonsense. But stick with me, and I'm hoping by the end of this, it will make a little bit of sense. This is a strategy. I guess it's an indicator, but it's not truly what I would consider an indicator. To me, an indicator gives you buy and sell signals. This does not. This just gives you an easy way to read the information that is presented. So the big thing with this strategy is you have 3 types of candles, and this is stuff I'm sure you guys know, but this just kind of gives a guide of how to read them. So with the, you can see right here, I have them painted yellow, and there's a little 1 at the top. These are your inside bars, your ones. Your ones. And when somebody created this strategy, they wanted to give the bars numbers to make it easier to read and easier to explain to people. Having to type an inside bar rather than just saying a 1 bar. So these are inside bars, your ones, which I'm sure you guys know what that is, but just really quick, for just in case you don't, just means when the bar is inside of the last. It means some consolidation is happening and unable to break. So then the next you see is a 2, and you see a lot of 2s on here. 2 there, and this tells you a 2 up and a 2 down. So when you see that, that's your directional bars. These are very, very important, but not as key as the 1. And then we have a 3. A 3 is just a full outside bar, takes out the highs and lows of the previous candle. So that's just a quick little guide to what these 1s and 2s are. Oh, and this indicator is available on TradingView, a few other ones. I'm pretty sure it's on TOS too. It's called the Strat. It's a very well-known thing. Lots of people use it. Some people use it solely based on, it's the only thing that they trade off of, which is kind of crazy to me, but it is a very helpful tool when trading. And the cool thing with this is since you are trading price action and trading candles, is this works for every time frame. Personally, I like the 5-minute the best, but to each their own. Some people like the 15, the 30, whatever it is that works for you in your trading strategy, still utilize that. But this is just a really cool way to really see it and trade it based off of these. I must pull down and show this really quick. So when you use these, let me change my window on here. So when you use these 1s and 2 bars, and to understand your inside bars, your outside bars, and where that support is based on price, you are not trading in terms of 6 candles ahead. You are trading the very next candle. So this helps you stay more focused, have a clear stop and sell. So here's a bunch of strategies of what the person who created this has determined. You have a 2-1-2 reversal, a 2-1-2 reversal going to the downside, a 2-2 reversal, 2-2-2. There's just a bunch of these, and I will share this picture. I just wanted to cover that really quick. I don't want to spend a ton of time on it because I will share the picture. I actually want to spend more time explaining it and showing it to you guys. So something that I have noticed that is the most effective and the most efficient and the most probable winning strategy, in my opinion, as far as this goes, is to wait for your inside bars. So this is the ES futures. So here you have this one bar. You have a 2 up and then a 1. So this shows some consolidation. And so you would sit here and you would wait for this 1 and you would have a buy stop set at the top and a buy stop set at the sell. So what that means and why you would want to do that is, you know, there's some significant strength on the sell side here, and there's some significant strength on the buy side here based on this last candle. And so when you set a sell stop here, 10 cents below, you know, whatever the case may be, it's different for everything that you trade. But futures, for example, you can set it 1 tick below this previous candle, and that way if it gets filled like it did on this candle, I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with futures, but this close was at 37.04 and the low of this very next candle was 36.96. That is a $8 move roughly, or a 32 tick move. And with futures trading at a 12.5 difference every tick, that's a huge gain in 5 minutes. Like I said, you have other strategies that you can go in here and look, but based on what I have seen off of this is you wait for that consolidation bar like we have once again here, set you a buy and a stop on those levels like you see here, and then boom. But not only does this give you entries, this also gives you exits. So for example, you take this to the downside here, right? So you're in it at that level right there. Well, then you're wondering, how do I know if this 2 bar fails? Okay, your stop loss would simply be the high of that very next candle, because that is where you know there's some significant some significant selling, and there's significant price action at those bars. And like I said, we are trading with the intent of trading the very next bar. We don't know anything going forward because we are trading price action. We're not trading patterns. We're not trading technicals. We're not trading indicators. We are simply trading the price action. So for example, you see this next price action, or on this 1 bar, it breaks below on this next candle, right? So then say you don't close it, your next stop loss would be the top of this candle or the bottom, you know, whichever one you want to use. And then you would just follow it on down and then use the top or the bottom of this one. But the key is waiting for candles to close. So if you're trying to, be fast and try to catch bars before they close, you're going to end up getting caught with your hand in the cookie jar, per se. Like this 3 probably started as a 2 down, like a 2 reversal down, but by the time it closed, it became an outside bar, and then now look. So basically all this strategy is trading the price action. Is you're not looking too far ahead. Don't get too caught up in trading this candle. Oh my God, what was that? In trading this candle right here. Oh, my magnet is on. Is trading this candle, but thinking about all the way over here. You're gonna get caught in the wrong situation and get just caught bad. And the cool thing is like I said, this works for every time frame. This works for stocks, this works for futures, this works for crypto, because you're simply trading the price action. So, and then another important piece of this indicator slash strategy, whatever it is you want to call it, is this time frame continuity. You guys see this in the bottom right? You should be able to. Yeah. basically what this shows is your average trade range for the day. So ES futures have an average trade range for the last, I think it might be 10 days. I'm not completely sure on the number it is there, but it has an average trade range of 111. And this shows you the bars of the quarter, the month, the week, the day, the 4 hour, the hour, the 30, and the 15. And so when you really want to take a high probability trade, you would want to trade being in that time frame continuity. So if all these time frames are showing red, then you might not want to take a long yet, simply because all these longer term candles are in the red, and more likely that's where it's going to continue going until we get a strong reversal. But then every 15 a new 15-minute forms. 3 5-minute candles make a 15. That should be something you keep your eye on. Like here's a perfect example. We was only 15 minutes, so we didn't catch it. Do you see how if you would have taken this long above this one bar, so you wait for this one to close, so you're like, okay, great, some consolidation, let's see where it goes. So you come on here and you set a buy stop there and a sell stop here, and easy, no stress, easy. Probably about oh my god, that's a huge move. A $20 move. Yeah, that's just something insane right there. So definitely take a look at this the Strat. There's a few other cool things about it, and this one specifically on TradingView, you guys can see how it is a very robust kind of indicator. You can have two EMA lines, multiple time frame support and resistance levels charted out for you. Oh, here you go. We'll turn this on too. We'll turn all these cool little things on. So another thing that's really cool when you're trying to learn is this thing will also paint out for you the formations that are possible within the Strat. So I don't use it every day because it can be kind of misleading, or not really misleading, but you can get caught up in seeing one of these pop. But when you're trying to learn, this is a great, here we have a 1, a 2, and then a 1, or a 2 1 2. That's a 2 1 2 continuation. Same thing. So you just set your buy and your sells at the tops of consolidation points. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys it is a very high probability trading, but it works. It works. There's a reason lots of people use it. You can go on Twitter and type the Strat, and there will be tons of information there. You can probably find stuff from people who know it better than I do. I am kind of new to it, but I tested it, and it was just something I really wanted to share with you guys. And something I like about it is the fact that it works on all time frames. So we will go through here and we will go to a 1 minute. And now you get a lot more chop here, but you will see how these things still work. Here we have this 1. Follow down. 1, you set your buy and your sells there. Up it goes. Same thing. Same thing. And that's the thing, is you're trading the next candle. So if it's a 1 minute chart, you should be expecting to be out of that trade in 1 to 2 minutes, because you can't possibly know the price action that's going to be happening 20 minutes from now based on a 1 minute candle. That's just impossible. And we'll go to something like Tesla. Wait for it to populate. Okay. And as we can see here, same thing. Very cool, very robust indicator, if that's what you want to call it. Definitely recommend taking a look at this. I know it can seem very overwhelming, but these numbers just give you helpful information of how to decipher this chart properly and quickly. I think this is really cool. But do you see how we still have 2 minutes left on this candle? So you want to wait. You don't want to take a trade right now, because you want to wait for this candle to close to determine the next candle of where it's going to be and give you that base. Because there's a possibility that price action can take us higher, or there's a possibility that price action can knife us down. We don't know, because this candle hasn't closed. We don't know if it'll close at a 1. So we have to be patient and wait for that to happen. Something else you can do is take your fibs, and if you're being kind of aggressive and you think this is definitely going to go down, you can take that golden pocket entry heading towards the downside. Very, very strong move too. I would say a big thing with this is definitely helps having experience with candles. Definitely helps having experience reading those charts in real time. And look at what I was saying. Remember how I told you that it's a possibility this will go for a 2 up? And that's why you got to be patient. There's still a minute left of the candle. But this 2 up, if we come back down, it can turn into a 3 if we get a full outside bar. So a lot of this is stuff that I'm sure you guys know. This is some stuff that Bueller talks about a lot. Leland talks about inside and outside bars a lot. He's probably a lot more robust on it than I am. But this is just a great way to, if you don't have a very good eye for it, to really help and just make it stand out to you. Is Leland in here? Yeah. Have you ever heard of this, Leland? You have. Very cool. So this is something that a few analysts in the Discord group, people, or not in this group, but some Discord analysts do use this to take their trades. Yes, Sarah Strat Sniper. That's what I was gonna. She's actually the person's Twitter that I showed. Which I'm sure that's why you talk about inside and outside bars so much. Yeah, they are extremely, extremely powerful. And this is all something, I'm not telling you to trade based off of this, but to work for me, live money. And that's the thing, is it can work live, because you are simply just trading candles. You're trading the price action. And like Leland said, they're very powerful in giving you an understanding of where this stock is going. Here on this chart, I have EMA 8 and 21. I have a VWAP and I have a MACD. And honestly, I could probably delete MACD because I never look at it. And so basically kind of a way to trade this. And I'm just going to kind of walk it down. I know this is going to be, trading in hindsight is always 20/20, but this is just a great example. So you take a put, once it breaks below this 1, right? So this is your entry. And now I'm going to get another one. You can't see that. Okay, and then here is going to be our stop loss. So you take that entry on the break below the 1, and then this candle closes. So then you can set your stop loss at break even, or maybe even slightly in the green, whatever it is you want it to be. Okay, and then this candle closes. So then you move it to the bottom of this candle because that's a significant place. So now that candle is closed, and now we're on to the next. And once that one closes, you just move it to the top of that one. And then you move it to the top, and then you move it to the top, and either at some point you take profits, or you let it stop you out in profits, or you hit a nice gain, and then boom, it's easy. Very stress-free, simply trading price action. Do you guys see how that could have been an easy gain? I personally like to look for inside bars at key levels. You can see there's an inside bar at 1045, I think. Yep, at 1045, you get that inside bar here. It does fail, but you can see that pre-market support here propped another inside bar, which we then popped off of. Exactly what Leland was talking about. Inside bars on key levels. That's why I don't suggest simply trading. Yeah, that one at 1050. Either way, you can see how price action, that one here at 1042, it might have broke, but it pretty much came right back to where it needed to be. And then, like you said, propped on that pre-market low, and we seen a bounce. So I'm not telling you to trade simply based off of this, but knowing these and being able to see these, I like being able to see it on my chart. I paint my candles yellow when I have an inside bar. This is just something I think is very helpful to me to visualize. So inside bars off key levels, definitely support and resistance is always your go-to. But when it comes to trading price action, the Strat is a very helpful tool, because I wouldn't call it an indicator, because it don't tell you when to buy and sell. It just makes this helpful information very visible. And if you learn those little formations that I've shown, they're really cool to see in real time, because it does happen. Oh, we missed this one on Apple. But so for example, we see how this broke back to the green. We would put our stop loss at the top of this candle, and so we can sit here and see if it hits. And it's one of those things, if it hits, that's fine, because it's part of our plan. We always talk about how it's very important to have a plan. So we'll sit here, we'll wait for this candle to close, and we'll see what we get. So remember, we entered supposedly some puts on this break below. So this is very cool. I did not expect this to happen in real time, but this kind of works. Yeah, we caught it a little late, but showing you how you can set a reasonable stop to manage those losses effectively with this. And it's still going in our favor. Let's see if we break down below and break down below this one. But if we break below this bar, this one will turn into a 3 and give us a full outside bar. So we're right back at our entry, with options. It being 10 minutes later, it might be down a couple percent. And this is trading absolutely nothing, no key levels, no indicators. This is precisely looking at trading price action. So you take whatever direction it goes first. Usually, yes, that's kind of the idea. There are outside bars. There are going to be times where it is not going to go in your favor, but if you have that predefined stop loss set, your losses will be very minimal, and it turned into a 3, just like I was saying. just because I'm curious. Now these contracts are going to be a little bit skewed because it is a 0-day contract. But I'm going to pull up an Apple put just to see what that would have paid. They're sitting at about 40. You could have got in, when was this? 13.15-ish. 13.20. Say you got in at 40 cents, you're up about 10 to 12, 15% right now. Simply based off of price action. And it looks like it's going to continue going down. But we still have 2 minutes for this candle to close. You know, if you're trying to really minimize your risk, you could put your stop loss here. And you just walk this thing down. Or you can come and take a fib of this previous candle and say, I will close if it goes above the 50% mark. You know, move your stop loss to there. Contracts are like 40, 42 cents right now. And you could say you paid 40. You can say if it comes down to 39, I'm going to sell. You know, whatever it is, just have your plan and use price action to define that. And this one is still going. Still sitting around like 15%. I have actually probably this last week. The Strat was included in my alerts. Like I said, I do not trade solely based on the Strat. I use it as a combination. I add it just for that added information. I have a strategy that works pretty well before, but this just gives me more information and more Strat confirmation. That all depends on how much you like it. Like I said, some people trade it solely. Some people take their trades based on it. I will say if you're trading like ES futures, I trade ES futures solely based on the Strat. Which, if you guys do not know, those contracts move absolutely nuts, and that's why I use price action and price action only on futures. But for options, I like to use it as a helpful tool. Yeah, so confirmation, I guess you could say that. Yeah, futures are nuts. If you guys haven't looked into those, I definitely recommend that. And futures doesn't have any PDT rules. Anyone using TOS, can you manage your stop loss? Citing them on the chart. Yes, definitely start with micros. Definitely, they move at like $1.25. Definitely get a feel for that. But if you learn this Strat and learn it well, and sit in front of a computer and watch futures, you will see how powerful this Strat is within futures. But yeah, definitely I'm not recommending anybody to jump into futures because they are nuts. DX asked, anyone, can you manage your stop loss moving around? Even if you can't, DX, you can always watch this, and you may not be able to physically set a stop loss, but you can say, okay, Apple hits 132.58 and I'm done. Have that sell ready, whatever works for you, and just have that ready. You may not be able to physically set one, but you can mentally prepare yourself for what happens if it gets to that level. And for example, trading Apple solely based on this would have netted you, it is currently up 20%. So that's crazy. And then, like I said, now you can move your stop loss. Now you can set it at 5%, 10%, whatever. Just don't let the play go red as it continues to go down. It's okay to get stopped out. It's okay to get stopped out because that's your plan. I talked about it when I done my trade plan video. Is you want to minimize your losses and let your winners run. And in this situation, in this exact scenario, that's what you would be doing. And those contracts went from being 40 cents to now they're 55. Solely based on a trade taking the break of an inside bar. Simply based on price action and then letting it run. Is this really confusing, or is some people getting what I'm saying? Other than Leland, he's kind of got a one-up. So the next target is the low of the 1300 candle. Yeah, exactly. You would just go back. For example, your target on this one, your first target would have been, I guess technically it would have been that one, but me personally, I would have set it for this, bottom of this, which we would have hit. And that would have been a very nice gain. We'll just stop talking about how much it could have been. So yeah, you would target this low, which it hit, and then if that breaks, your next target would be, I would call it that high, but that's just me being safe. And then your next bar is here, and then like I said, if it keeps going to these targets, you just move your stop loss, and then you just move it, and then eventually you'll get stopped out, and that'll be perfectly fine. And when you do, don't get all tore up of, oh, it dropped another 10%. I could have made 10% more. You rode the wave, you did what you were supposed to do, and you followed your plan. After that, you can't complain too much about that. But that's the thing with trading this, is you don't want to get caught up with hopium and looking too far ahead. Look at your previous candles to find your targets, and once it hits, be happy with it. Need to back test for sure, but like the inside outside bar strat. Yeah, whenever I first seen it or seen people talking about it, I was like, what is this? How is this? Of course, everyone knows what inside outside bars are, but the strat just kind of helps put it together, if that makes sense. It really helps you see it. Especially when I have it set to paint a bar, that really puts emphasis on this inside bar. This really puts emphasis on an outside bar. And then another cool thing to look at is when you're looking at longer term charts, is a thing called a broadening formation. And I'm going to hide everything just to make it easy. Now, I'm not the best at these. I'm still learning when it comes to broadening formations. But basically, it is when new lows are set. So like that would be a broadening formation, and Leland probably is a lot better at charting these out than I am. Yeah, Rob Smith. Yeah, that's the dude who done this. I feel like a lot of you guys have already looked into this, but I'm actually not too familiar on. Basically, it's when it takes out the highs and then the lows take out the lows. You have a broadening formation, I guess, kind of, let's just say there for, and then another one kind of there. So you would expect these levels to be very important later on. If it was to come back and touch this broadening formation or touch it here, that could be used as levels of resistance or support. But I'm not a fan of broadening formations, simply because, in my opinion, they can be very misleading and very skewed. because the way I draw my broadening formation may not be the way this person draws it, may be different from this one, so that number and that formation kind of gets messed up and not the same across the board for everyone. So that's why I don't put too much emphasis on them. But yeah, trading off of this with a VWAP, a couple EMAs, and just trading price action is a very, very profitable way to do. Add that with support and resistance, just add another tool to your bag, and you will be on your way to becoming a better and better trader. And like I said in the beginning, I am definitely not the best at this. There are plenty of other people out there who are very good help. Sarah Strat Sniper is a very good one on YouTube for explaining this. And honestly, a really good way is just diving into it and trying it. In my opinion, if you are going to try this and you are looking for those high quality setups, it would be exactly like Leland said, is those inside bars off of key levels. That is a very high quality price action trade to take. Like Leland said, this inside bar at 1050 based on that pre-market low is very, 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 very strong, and definitely something you need to be looking for. Yeah, how they show hammers and shooting stars too. I like it, but I don't like the way that this thing kind of does it, because it kind of skews up your bar. I wish it was like, or kind of skews up your chart. I wish it was like right here. But you can see how there was a shooting star here, and then look what happened. You get a hammer. It didn't really do much, but definitely cool. This chart, if you do use TradingView, if you just come over here and go to the Strat, it is the Strat Teach version 2 by Ngami7, and I will type that out. And then eventually you'll get to the point where this all just becomes second nature. But until it does, I highly recommend everyone using this and incorporating this trading based off price action into your trading. But Bueller, Leland, all these guys do a very good job of pushing. I have that one I made for TOS. I think she's going to get home. She was the 1, 2, 3 trading view. Perfect. And Leland's got him some coding skills. That's impressive. Yeah, TOS has it. A bunch of. It's a very well-known thing, so it shouldn't be too hard to find information on that. And I'm going to share this picture in here too of kind of the formations that you can look for. But the key thing I would need all of you guys to understand and realize, look, and this Apple play is actually still going in favor if you didn't get stopped out here. But anyway, is the big thing you have to do is you have to be sure you are being patient and waiting for those candles to close. Whether you're using a 5, a 15, a 30, whatever the case may be, is you can't jump the gun and try to predict price action. That's when you start, from experience, that's when you start messing up. That's when things start getting tough. Unless you are using that golden pocket fib line. That is the only way I would suggest anyone to try to predict price action. But even then, you're still using a strong indicator to base your stop loss or your entry out of. But I won't sit on here and continue to ramble during market hours. Also right off the 9 EMA, yeah. You see right here is my 9 EMA, this orange bar right here, or this orange line. So one of the strategies that you can see there is a 2 down and then a 2 up. Personally, I'm not sure if we will get that or not. It kind of got rejected right there at that 50% retracement line. So we'll sit on here for maybe 2 more minutes, see what happens with this Apple close. Yeah, I'm really happy we got to kind of see this Apple play work out. Almost in real time, it wasn't exactly, but still getting shut down at that 50%. Let's see the predictions. What do we think? Apple goes up or down? We get this bounce off the 9, or do we just shatter back down? Up. All right, DX. Let's see. So another key thing to look at here is you are in time frame continuity with 5 out of your 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 bars. Looks like we're just gonna keep selling off here, even though SPY is trying to go up. It's definitely fighting though. It's trying really hard to hold 132. And yeah, if it does go sideways, then the next candle would just be a 1, and then you could take another trade based off of that. Okay, so it did close below the 9, which is definitely not a good sign. And this is one of those situations where I tell people, or I want to emphasize not to get caught up and kind of jump the gun. Is yeah, for now this looks like a 1, but there's still 4.5 minutes left on this candle. There's still plenty of time for it to change, and it just did. No problem, Sal. My goal here is to make sure that everyone has their fair opportunity in trading. Trading is very tough. I'm fortunate enough to be in this position to share this with you guys, and this is all stuff I wish I had whenever I started. And we broke 132, and this is just continuing to walk itself down. Now it'll, and that target just got ate up. We'll see if it can hold here. Yeah, trading is definitely not easy, especially once you get into full-time trading. probably one of the hardest jobs out there. Mentally, trying to learn the battle of trading, trying to fight those emotions, the up and down nature of it. Never let anyone try to tell you it's easy. This is a big reason why I do not like it when people share their money made. Because just because you have, if you have a lot more to trade with, it's easier to make those big gains. But if you're starting out, it's all about being consistent, not going for home runs all the time. Yeah, this is actually a really cool trade that worked out. Yep, and if this breaks, which it just did, you might see it come down to 130, 150. I just stopped looking. It just made me feel bad that I couldn't make that. It made me feel like a failure. Exactly, and that's part of the reason I never share any cash value, because that's not the purpose of it. You're not, looking at cash. One person might make 10,000, one person might make 1,000, one person might make 100. But maybe the person doing 100 put in the more work and had the better consistent trades. It all just depends on what you're starting with and what you have to work with. It's something I do actually on mine. Oh wow, I just got a bunch of buys. When I'm trading from home, I have all my features set up to where I don't even see a cash value. All I see is percentages. But I really do hope that you guys are able to utilize this in combination with some other stuff and other things that have been working, or maybe you can add this to something that hasn't been working and it will start working, or whatever the case may be. But I definitely highly recommend looking into this, giving it a go, doing some back testing, seeing if it works for you, works for your strategy. Yeah, me too. I am a full base hit trader. But that's also what works for me. It's makes me feel better. It makes me be less stressed. You learn to be happy with 10, 20, 25%, and then those 50s feel like a gift, and that to me kind of keeps me grounded. And if you can get consistent on hitting base hits, and they add up quick. And that dip got absolutely bought up. Yeah, he's nuts. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna, so based on this trade, one final thing. If you didn't get stopped out on this candle, I don't like that green, it's kind of hard to see. If you didn't get stopped out here, once this candle kind of went red, if you were a little bit more, if you had it at the bottom of this one or whatever the case may be, if you didn't get stopped out there, this candle went on, or this play went on to pay very nicely. I think from like 40 cents to somewhere over the area of like 55. So you're hitting on a 50% gainer right there. It actually went to 76. I'm sorry, almost 100%. I forgot it's Friday and a quad witching. So we took this trade. Yeah, we were a few minutes late to it, but solely based off of price action and the strat, you can see how this trade played out very nicely and exactly to what you are looking for when trading this. But if you guys have any questions regarding this, you can feel free to ask me. There's also a lot of stuff on YouTube regarding it. But give it a try, definitely. Give it a try. Give it some back testing. Don't add it in. Don't add it in and start trading off of it immediately. Log into some Bitcoin and just sit in front of a screen and just see what it gives you. You know what I mean? Just take some practice, or TradingView has a very nice replay feature. Go back, scroll until you can't see the chart anymore, and then you start from here. Whatever the case may be, whatever works for you as far as back testing. And just give it a shot, give it a look, and test it. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of live little session here regarding the strat and regarding price action. But until then, you guys enjoy your 3-day weekend. Hope everyone had a good Friday. I know it was all over the place. Webull had some glitches this morning. Thank you guys for tuning in. And I'm going to be uploading this, or I'm not going to be uploading it. I'm going to be giving it to Weller, and he's going to be uploading it. So if you guys want to rewatch how this play traded out, how I moved my stop, whatever you want to look at, if you just want to watch it again, it'll be there. Weller's really good about posting that for people who wasn't here, for people who just want to watch it again. But thank you guys for hopping in here with me and learning a little bit. Until we do this again, peace out, everyone.